It's time for wrestling news, and I happen to know that both of us is with the all-you-can-eat buffet at IHOP.
Proceed with voice print identification.
Wrestling News, episode 42. Help comes to scrape.
Work.
There seems to be some confusion.
Can we help you?
You have
Slick.
a very vague definition of work.
The Alzheimer's has been
Slick
kicking
is-
in.
Talking about wrestling any work.
Slick. Media! Now that's work!
That's work. All that pointing and clicking at other people's websites. You think that's easy shit?
Noise, the noise that's out there.
Why don't we do this?
I'm rolling, Sweet Pea.
Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another edition of Comic Book Man's Video Outhouse. Tonight, the WWE. And that means me, your humble host, Uncle Peter, and he, the professor of all things trivia. Bo. Doesn't he sell it? And we are...
Time! Let's get this moving! Let's go! Let's
We
go!
are where we always are, near the corner of 111th and Kedzie at Alternate Reality Incorporated in the Junlin Wasteland that is the Mount Greenwood neighborhood of Chicago.
I like that one.
You like that? I'm good. We made Camera Boy happy. Somebody who's not going to be happy because he's out of work, and I believe we brought his name up in a previous edition of this.
Who?
Brian Danielson. Saying something about him being cut, and now we got a little intel as to why. Why don't you tell us?
Well, at the end of the Raw a week ago, you had the whole point where the NXT rookies came out and attacked John Cena and Brian Danielson, who, by the way, turned his name to Brian Danielson before he got cut instead of Daniel Bryan. He was choking ring announcer Justin Roberts with his tie.
Can't do that, can he?
And then he spit on John Cena, and it was actually quite effective.
Now I know you can't do that.
Now, well, you can spit on people. That's still okay.
Not John Cena.
Apparently, a couple of days after it, someone who doesn't work for the WWE, and someone who apparently has nothing to do with Linda McMahon running for the Senate,
one of those anonymous phone calls,
says they didn't like the fact that he was choking him and they wanted the WWE to cut him.
So they did.
So they cut him on Friday. Now, Brian's not starving. He's got a 90-day no-compete clause. He's actually allowed to do independent bookings. He can do any booking he wants as long as he's not on television. And I would imagine by the time August rolls around, guess he'll be making his return to the WWE.
Brian Danielson?
Yeah, because basically the wrestler's like, you know, this really sucks. This is BS. And everyone's a little upset about it. Even Stone Cold Steve Austin's ticked about it.
Oh, and what isn't he ticked off about?
And so Brian will more likely be
back
by August.
And they've been there, done that scenario.
And if he doesn't, and he doesn't come back, guess who gets a main eventer? TNA.
Who?
TNA gets a main eventer.
Ah, good.
He's an instant main eventer. He's the guy who got fired from the WWE for choking a guy.
We've moved on from Brian Danielson. We're moving.
Brian's watching you.
I don't care. We're moving into the been there, done that files. Oh, I know that. Regarding the Undertaker. Why is it a been there, done that? And this is one I remember.
Well, Cain came out a couple weeks ago on SmackDown. He said that the Undertaker was found in a vegetative state, and he didn't know what was wrong with him. And so he's on the hunt for finding out who put his brother in this state.
Who the real
So he's going to be searching all through the SmackDown roster to find out who it is. And you know what? From what I've heard recently, we're going to find out if the person behind all this happens to be Cain.
Now, why would he do something like that?
And then he and the Undertaker may wrestle a casket match at SummerSlam.
A buried alive match involving the Undertaker.
It'll be horrible.
What originality!
Although he could wear his mask. But not original. His greatest and most terrifying matches DVD came out. Yeah. And that's part of it. And then there'll be another one.
Got it.
Fine.
Somebody jumping ship there? They having defections?
No, not a defection.
Batista
was at the recent Strike Force show. He told everyone involved he has no interest at any point in time coming back to the WWE. He's just
not happy?
He's not interested. He wasn't happy his last couple of weeks with the company. Not with the wrestling part, but apparently with the front office part of it. And so Batista's hanging out, taking acting classes and training in MMA, but he's not going to be an MMA fighter because he's too old to do that.
He's taking MMA lessons, but he's not going to be an MMA fighter.
He's not.
Doesn't that get called a waste of time?
No, that's just basically him keeping himself in shape.
Yeah, okay. Like, there aren't a million other ways of doing that. This is the World Wrestling Entertainment, so we're going to go worldwide, around the globe, to India. Promoter in India named
D.S. Babar.
He
suggested that the great Khali, while he was on his mini vacation from the WWE, was going to appear at this big arena show.
The tall guy who stands there and yells.
Right, even though Khali was quite clear about the fact that he wasn't going to be there. And so, by him not telling anyone he wasn't going to be there, Fans showed up, found out Cully wasn't there, and basically wrecked the place.
And got angry.
Yeah, they were very upset.
What's the Indian word for riot?
And so, it was
Riot.
about 100 security
Riot.
guards ended up
They
getting
had a
smacked
riot.
around. And the India police.
That's the other ones.
The India Police Department, they locked the guy up for 3 days for basically scamming people.
Oh, jeez.
A wrestling promoter locked up for scamming people. Who would have thought
Talk
something
about
like
an
that
original
could possibly
concept.
happen? Oh my gosh!
I'm gonna heat this guy up to kill him.
I can't believe it!
I wish I'd known this
He's,
long time ago. Just
he's
turn it up to boil.
flabbergasted.
Alright, let's wrap this up. It's
He's-
too damn hot.
All right, we
Let's
got
go.
one more
Let's
story.
Forget the feed. Chris Jericho.
Chris Jericho.
Doing a game show called Wipeout on ABC. Debuts in a week or so. The WWE tried to talk him out of it because they think if Chris starts doing things on ABC instead of doing things on MTV or VH1, then when his contract ends in the fall, he may decide
You think
not
he'll like
to
the bigger
return.
check?
Thank you very much.
So, but 2 weeks. I don't really know what the big deal is. Chris Jericho's hosting duties involve him going to LA for 2 weekends and taping all of his intros to all the bits. It's not as if he's going anywhere for a long period of time. It's
little
freaking
dose of
weekends.
paranoia running through WWE. Who knows? The only thing I do know is that's it for us. We're out of here. Thank you for stopping by. For this and all the other news and views you can get at this place, stop at our little hole in the wall on the information superhighway. That our little sprite over there on the side is going to tell you about.
www.myalternatereality.com. There's new stuff up every day. Hopefully someday it'll actually be good.
She does it so well. She tells us where to go so well. Anyway, that's it for us. I'm Uncle Peter. He's whoever he is.
Who's sweaty? Let's go. Let's wrap it up.
Sweaty, yeah, we're done. See
Bye.
ya.
Talk to you later.
Marvel's rebooted the entire Avengers line, and to celebrate, the hero of the month this month is the Avengers. That's right, all of my Avengers trade paperbacks are 25% off this month. New, Mighty, Initiative, West Coast, Masterworks, soft covers, hard covers, East Coast, West Coast, Justice League. No, not Justice League. All of my Avengers trade paperbacks are 25% off all month long to celebrate, so don't you dare miss it. Stop down. They'll be from the first of the month to the last of the month, all month long.